Have your north, south, east, and west. You have your four elements. You have the four seasons. The significance of four is really great in our culture. So when we start that stack, why do we go from east to west? Somebody tell me.
Sunrise and sunset.
Sunrise and sunset. But also, what else? Who do you think of something else?
The wind.
The wind, exactly. So if you try facing it that way, and the wind's coming this way, how are you gonna get your fire started? You really can't. It's gonna be really hard. You can't do it. But usually, a good fire starter, a good, guy that can start these fires, you only need one match.
Whoa.
A lot of that comes with prayer.
Sweet.
And the way we do that is we honor the earth by giving it tobacco. This is the way I was taught by my elders. We honor those rocks, we honor that wood. We honor this lodge at the same time with tobacco. I don't want to smoke it. So we start to light that fire and we get these rocks really hot. And we keep stacking wood on there. We keep those logs that way, along with the wind. Because that wind will create all your heat and all your energy you need to keep these rocks nice and hot. And we usually use this type of rock. And this is what's found around here in Blackfeet country. There's big ones over there too. We call them ochatok. My grandfather rocks. We believe, rocks, they have a spirit. They have an energy, a life force, just like us. It's like everything has a life force. The ground, wood, trees, everything around us. You gotta remember, it comes from the earth. That greenhouse, all that wood, the plastic, steel, everything comes from earth. And so do we.
Thank you.
But a lot of this knowledge I grew up with it. When I was a little kid. I'd help my dad go out in the forest. He's the one that showed me how to pray. And that's what this lodge is. It's a place of prayer. A place of suffering. And that's all we really have in this world. We have nothing. Like, I humble myself, I tell people, I know nothing, I have nothing. Only one that knows everything and is above all is Creator. The knowledge I have has been passed down from generation to generation to generation. A lot of it has been lost, but the little I know, I pass on to all you. Maybe you'll carry it on one day. Because as it is said, our elders are leaving us. A whole generational line is almost gone. It's like every time you see our elder pass away, a book closes. That knowledge is gone. A lot of that knowledge came from our dreams. It came from fasting. So, let's go over this way. So we were talking about this lodge. You gotta remember the connection. This door right here is supposed to equal with that fire. So that fire is supposed to be just right there. And just like with the way you guys build. You need that connection to be straight. And it needs to work with what you guys are doing. It's all about connection. You have your four elements in here. You also have your gases too. And that's that steam. So these rocks, they hold the best heat. But this one, it has I think it's build. Well, we start with our main. This way, this way, this way, and this way. 4. Significance of 4. Sometimes they'll go south at Sundance, or other people have rights to different lodges. But also, it's all basically the same. That pit right there is supposed to be in a perfect circle because it represents your life. And it's supposed to be cleaned out all times. No garbage. You're supposed to keep it clean. And it's a representation of your mother's womb. Us men, as men, we have to sweat. Women can naturally clean themselves out. We call it their moon. But men, we don't have that ability to do that. So a lot of times when your man's acting up, he's probably on a man moon. Clean him out,
Hey! Yeah.
But we talked about that connection with that fire in the pit and that rock pit there. When you think about it in a native science type of way, none of this would work without that connection, without that balance. Just like what you guys are going to be doing, in the weeks as they progress, when you build, your alternative energy products. You got to think about connection. How is it going to work? How is it going to work for me? What do I have to do to make this happen? So we bring those rocks in. Again, start with 4. East. And the middle represents creator. So we go along, you do our thing, and then we close that door. You gotta make sure everything's dark in there. Just like when you guys will build your solar water packs. Is it?
Solar hot water.
Yeah, solar hot water packs. Gotta make sure that's all covered, right?
Mm-hmm.
That black paint. Same thing with this. Gotta make sure everything's covered. You can't see any light. That way you keep that heat in. And the way that the heat works is it goes up and it goes down. Goes up and it goes down. So usually when people are sitting in the back, they think it's not gonna be as hot. But it gets really hot because heat rises and it falls in the back. And that's your science behind it. But also gotta make sure this can stand up too. There's certain ways you do it. Some people can do it, some people can't. But you can't just get somebody to go in there and start throwing together a sweat and expect it to work, because it just don't work like that. There's certain protocols you have to do, as with your projects you're gonna do. There's certain ties you have to make, just like with your projects. There's certain ways you have to set these up, just like your projects. You pay attention to detail. You always watch what you're doing. You always have a good mind with the things that you're doing, because usually 9 times out of 10, if you have a positive attitude and a good mind, things will work out. If you have negativity all the time and you think, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that, you're gonna fail. Fail yourself. And that's our biggest enemy, is ourselves. You're building that lodge, if you ever get the rights to do that, you're gonna be fighting yourselves a lot of the time. There'll be times you do it alone. There'll be times you have help. Usually, ask for help. You ask people to help you. No matter what it is in life, you didn't invent the wheel overnight. It took years and years and years, maybe thousands of years. There's always ways, there's always other ways to do things. But yeah, that connection, along with your guys' products, you guys think about that. Think about having a positive mind and how everything works together. It just all works together. Without one, you can't have it all. It all like connects you. You're only as strong as your weakest link. That's my presentation for this morning. Hope you guys like it.
Thank you. Great, Brandon.